Okay, it is, and I'm going to go ahead and reclaim host Destiny. Okay, and so everybody knows now that we are on YouTube, I'm going to start recording. And we can go ahead and start the meeting.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I would like to call the Sexual Offender Risk Review Board meeting to order. It is 10:05. I would like to welcome any of our guests that might be in attendance from the public. And Tracy, can I get a roll call of our board members?
Yes. So Mindy Ackerman.
Here.
Mandy Ballinger. Sheriff Brown. Which Sheriff Brown is here. I had muted him because there's some background noise. Sheriff Brown, you're going to have to unmute. I'm sorry. And I'll come back to Sheriff Brown. Jerry Bruce, he is not able to be here today. James Chafin is not able to be here today. Robbie Frederick is not able to be here today. And then Sheriff Brown. Sheriff.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Okay.
Katie Gropper. Jim Morton.
Present.
Frank Mullis.
I'm here.
Bert Reeves stated that he would be here at 10:30, and Lori Rozier is not here. So we currently do not have a quorum, but we can move through some of our agenda items.
Okay. Do you want me to still read the mission statement and go through all of that?
Yes, for the public.
Okay. The Sexual Offender Risk Review Board mission statement is our purpose and mission is protecting Georgia's children and communities at large by identifying convicted sexual offenders that present the greatest risk of sexually reoffending. It is the board's responsibility to determine the likelihood that a sexual offender will engage in another crime against a victim who is a minor or a dangerous sexual offense. Assessments will be used by the SORB to determine the risk level of the offenders. Offenders will be classified as a level 1, a level 2, or sexually dangerous predator. Have all members received and had an opportunity to review the minutes from our last meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
So Mindy, you're not going to be able to vote on the minutes, so we can hold them either until we do have a quorum or until next month.
Okay. So we can move on with the agenda and get reports of officers and standing committees, which is inactive at this time. Any unfinished business? Okay. Any new business? Okay. And then we'll move on to the executive director report.
So yeah, first I want to introduce Richard Hammond, who he is our new deputy director beginning October 1st. Hey, Richard.
Good morning.
And Richard has been with us with SORB for a while now, actually, as an investigator, assistant investigator, assistant chief investigator. But his new role will beginning October 1st. I'm very excited about that because we have lots of plans that we're going to be starting on come that time. So we're really looking forward to that. So as the months go by, we'll be able to give you some updates. He'll be in all the meetings, and each meeting will be able to give you some updates on all the new changes that we're making, because planning on making a lot of those. So I'm looking forward to Richard's assistance.
So am I.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
So the next is the new hires. So I have a meeting with OPB, which for the public, that means Office of Planning and Budget. So, you know, we had a large increase in our budget to assist with our backlog, which is now in excess of 10,000 cases due to it takes time to get people hired. But I feel pretty proud and pretty good that when I found out that we received the funds, I immediately started to put in ads to hire people so we could have people, as many as possible, on board July 1st. So we have hired, I want to say, we have starting by September 16th, we will have, I want to say, 12 or 13 part-time clinical evaluators, which is a huge thing because getting people part-time, let alone people who have some experience and their interest in this field, is very, very difficult. And I have not had success in the past with part-time people, but right now I think we have a really, really great crew and some really wonderful people. And so I'm really excited about that. And as y'all know, we hired several full-time clinical evaluators, and they have been absolutely wonderful. So again, very lucky because finding people with these skills is very difficult. And then we also hired 6 part-time investigators, and again, have some really, really great people. So, God's looking out because we have been tremendously blessed by finding the folks that we have to start this journey. So Marcus has been doing a fabulous job training all these people. So we had our biggest bunch that started July 1st, and then the next bunch was August 1st, and then our next bunch is September 16th. And he's had to try and train and overlap and do that with us being removed from our office space. As y'all know, August 9th was our last day in our office at the agricultural building. And so we only have a small cubicle that DBHCD has been kind enough to allow us to have for at least signing court orders and stuff that we have to have a person in there. So Lavonda has started, Lavonda Johnson, which we're really happy to have her. And she's been really helpful. And Destiny has been spending a lot of time training her and getting her in place. So we don't really have meeting space. And so Russ has been wonderful. Our stakeholders outside of SORB have been wonderful, I know. And Richard, you probably can give a little bit, maybe share a little bit about the stakeholder that has been helping us with the training facility, because I think it's really important that we do have people who are trying to help us, because we weren't able to get any training space at DBHCD to assist us in training our new people. And so we had to kind of reach out, and Russ did that for us. And I'm very grateful for that. And Richard, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. Both Russ and I retired from the Cobb Sheriff's Office, so we still have some contacts there. And the North Central Georgia Law Enforcement Academy, the director of that is a Cobb Sheriff's Office major that Russ knows and I know as well. And he's been very helpful in being able to provide us space as long as it doesn't interfere with the regular classes they have. But we've been able to meet 2 or 3 times now up there, and we're actually scheduled next week to train as well. So being an academy where they train law enforcement officers, it's perfect for training because they already have all the audiovisual equipment, all the, chairs, desks, whatever that we need. So, it's been very helpful with the Cobb Sheriff's Office.
So yeah, we've been really fortunate with that because Marcus has been doing a lot of his training via Zoom, but it's not the same. And people trying to, because he can't individually go and help them with their computer if they're having a hard time finding something on the computer, figuring all that out. So Marcus has been a trooper in trying to do all that and balance all that and trying to do that through Zoom. And with Russ and Richard getting us that space, and our Cobb County folks helping us with in-person, we're really grateful for that. And because next week we'll have 5 people that we're going to be training, and that's our last big group. So we have everybody in place with the exception of maybe 4 positions. And I'm kind of at a standstill with those positions because I want to see how some things are working before I even fill them. So in the bigger picture, we have fulfilled everything we want to at this point. So you figure between July and September 16th, that's a really quick time to get all those positions for the most part filled. So that's been really, really good. And we have some great people, and we're grateful for the people helping us. So that's where we're at with our new hires. The SORB office move, I did want to put the address so the public knows. we don't have anybody ever from the public come into our office. However, having that information for mailings is really important. And so I do have that on our agenda. We have it on our website. We have it in our emails as to our temporary location. I say temporary, the one cubicle is temporary. Come January, February, we should hopefully be in our new space that is also on the Twin Towers, and everything there looks pretty good. So I meet with GBA next week to get sense of that office space again, to start making some plans. So that's where it's supposed to be, which is really good. And then Richard and I went to the SOAR conference. I presented for the sheriff, the Sex Offender Registry folks conference, which I do every year and have done so since 2010. And all but 3 times I presented for them. And so this year, it's always a really good turnout, presented for 3 hours. Everybody's wonderful. We had a bunch of DCS officers there. I think there's 30 DCS officers and 200 total people, I believe, that were there. And everybody's really, really great. The SOAR officers work really hard. DCS officers work really hard. And they have a lot of great questions, and they're really passionate about knowing and understanding this field and how to best do their job. And so I love presenting for them. So I really enjoyed it. And then I have the 2025 calendar. You can't vote on it because we don't have a quorum, but I hope everybody's looked at it. Really, all it is it's continuing the second Thursday of every month. So unless there's now you can discuss it if there's any thoughts about moving the day or the time of the month that you want the meetings, or keeping it on the second Thursday of every month. I don't know if anybody's wanting any kind of changes or just kind of keeping it like that. So if you're all not feeling any changes right now, then it's not looking like we're going to have a quorum today. So next month, we can discuss the calendar. I do need to get it into our database system, because how it works is with court order cases, we have 90 days to complete, and our system is set up to let us know the deadlines, and it can't do that without the new calendar being in the system. So I do need to get that as soon as possible. The next thing, which is a really big thing, of course, is the 2025 retreat. And so need everybody to kind of be thinking about where you would like to have that, if you'd like it to have it at Blue Ridge again, or if you want a different location. I had one idea about this being a little different, but decided an idea I want to give to you guys to see if you would be interested in it. Because of the huge restructuring of SORB, what I think we need to do is revisit the bylaws, revisit all the rules and stuff with the board, having everybody on the same page, and maybe making some edits to some of that stuff. And also, so I would like, and Richard would like, the two of us, and also figured I'd have just the upper management people coming to that. We obviously cannot have the whole staff come anymore because of the expense of that with so many people. But with our upper management, and who that would include is obviously with Richard and I, and then Kaylin is going to be over the administrative folks, and Amanda is over the clinical supervisors, and Russ is over the investigators, and then of course Marcus with research. Having all of us get together to figure out I have a lot of ideas I'm really excited about to be able to present and bring to you guys, but I want the board's feedback and information on where you think you'd like to see things headed. Now that we have the people, now that we have the resources, now that we have things that we can really, really do some great things with. So I think my idea of the next retreat would be more of a working retreat. So just something to think about. And we don't have to do that. It's just something, because we are restructuring and this is new for us, it seems like it's just good timing. So having that as a thought and location as a thought, we need to get that down. I'll put out an email for everybody since we're missing so many people today, but I'll put out an email because we really need to start getting ideas of where, especially so that it takes forever to plan it and to get all the paperwork done. So being September already, which blows my mind. So we need to get this. I was like, oh my gosh, we really need to start talking about this. So something to think about. And then our next board meeting is October 10th. And I think that's all I've got for right now.
Okay. So Tracy, you were saying for the retreat, it's just the people you mentioned for the upper management. So the evaluators and the investigators would not be attending like in the past. Okay. All right. Any questions or comments about Tracy's report? So we do not have a quorum, so we are not able to review cases, correct? Do we need to reschedule the September meeting, or how does this work? Does it just roll over into next month?
Do we want to
Typically-
wait? Will we have enough if Bert gets on?
We will not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just texted him to let him know not to bother calling in. Because we will not have enough for a quorum.
Okay. Do we want to do when we move into the new building, do we want to have like a meet and greet there? So the board members can meet all of the new staff and everything and see the new office?
Oh, absolutely, which you did meet a lot of the new staff, but no, we definitely want an open house. So however we do that, I meet with GBA. Again, this will be the second time, but it's hard to get into the space because there are people in that space currently, so I can't see the whole thing. Until I can really see the whole thing, can I get an idea of everything that we need to do with it? Fortunately, because we're not in a space, we're going to have funds because the space is going to need to be restructured. So there's some really good structure to the space, but we need additional structure to it. So of course, the current people, they'll move out the end of December, and then GBA will need time to add the extra things that we need added to that space. And then once we get that done, get everybody moved in, get all that taken care of, then yeah, we probably should have maybe a planning meeting and see how y'all want to do that for kind of an open house type thing, but definitely for the staff and the board members.
Excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm just curious, is if we're not going to have a quorum, is this and with regards to the actual board meeting itself, are you guys done?
So, yeah, so is there any other unfinished business or issues that y'all want to discuss before we, as Elizabeth is saying, maybe end the meeting?
To be
I don't
clear,
have-
I'm not suggesting you guys don't chat. I just don't know that this, this is no longer part of the meeting that necessarily needs to be live streamed and recorded.
Okay, I can adjourn the meeting if we want to stay on and talk afterwards, but you guys want me to move to adjourn the meeting?
Yeah, let's move to adjourn.
Okay. All in favor of adjourning at 10:23?
Aye.
Right.
Aye.
Okay, hold on, let me